Well, hello there. This is Kiram with Clear Imaging, clearimaging.com. We design wicked websites, been doing it for 2 decades, helped tons of American companies, and we are the best. So today we're looking at a fresh website. We have got sleepwearco.com, and we're going to take a look at what I like to call a conversion rate optimization. In other words, what do we do on this website to turn visitors into sales? CRO, conversion rate optimization. Not to be confused with SEO, which is search engine optimization, which is things you do to your website so that you get higher up in the Google. So conversion rate is simple. Someone lands on the website, we want them to buy. That's a conversion. So turning visitors into customers. In order to pull that off, you really need to know what you're doing. In the old days, it really didn't matter. As long as you had a website, as long as you were online originally. If you just had a website, you were going to get more sales because all of your competitors didn't have websites and you were the only one. So you had the market share. Now, 20 years later, not only does every business have a website, they all have their social medias, and there's over 2 billion websites online, if you can believe it. 2 billion. So there's a lot of competition. Everyone's got a website. And so now what? Well, you have to have your website optimized now. Before, you can just have something like this, which is an older website. Done. Here we go. This is how websites used to be done. Doesn't do it anymore, unfortunately. It's still going to get some results, but you really need to change the flow and make it into a sales page. All right, it's a sales funnel, sales page. And there's quite a bit wrong with this one, and there's a few things that are right. So let's take a peek. So first things first, there's not enough contrast for the navigation. All right, I'm lost. I don't see the navigation. Only when I scroll do I see it, but even when I scroll, there's not enough contrast between the light pink and the white. So this is no bueno. You can't make it hard for the user to navigate. Navigation needs to be super clear, really strong contrast. All right, black on white. You can't go wrong with it. You're not a noob if you're doing black on white. It's just really good for usability, okay? I mean, even this one's doing it well. At least we see the contrast of the navigation. So let's get the navigation sorted out. Next, of course, the logo this color scheme needs to be adjusted because the logo is basically invisible, and you don't want that. You got to have your branding in. You want to brand this image of this logo into the prospect's mind, so it's basically invisible. Let's handle that color scheme with the logo. Next, photo is fine-ish. However, the copy here isn't quite correct. First of all, it's hard to read. Secondly, the wording isn't ideal. You want to talk about what you do, what you're going to do for the prospect, so what problem you're going to solve, what desired result you're going to give them. It's all about the transition, the before state to the after state. What is your product going to do? And they're touching on that here, all right, making you feel cozy and soft and making bedtime fun, but it's a little too shortened. It's a little too truncated. I want to see it something like, we help basically solve problem X with product Z, get desired result Y is the formula. And it's super important that your copy states that, and it's very easy to read. Because someone lands on this initial screen, they need to know what you're going to do for them, the before state and the after state. So we help girls feel comfy and sexy at the same time, blah, 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 something about that, right? Whatever their unique selling proposition is, they need to word that a little better so that when someone lands on here and they have that problem of not having anything comfortable to wear, but that's classy at the same time, all right, They need to touch on that a little stronger. Once again, we solve problem X with product Y, so you get desired result Z. That's a formula. Let's get that reworded. Next, we have trust logos, which is great. However, there's a design issue here with the code where it's getting cut off, so that needs to get corrected. Don't want to have that. You want to have that very clear. So let's get that fixed. Otherwise, that is good. So that is the right move, to put your trust logos right up front up here. So that is one thing being done correctly. And then we scroll down and we go right into products, which is a little bit jumping the gun. I know it's e-commerce and that's what you think you should do, but I tell you, that's what people used to do, and it no longer, if you want to dominate, that's no longer the way. You need to talk about the prospect a little bit and their journey, talk about their before state, you know, what is the unmet need here? Someone who's coming to this website, a girl who wants to get some classy yet comfy jammies so she can lounge around the house and not feel like a degenerate, but also not feel uncomfortable, right? There's a lot of points on that. They don't want to feel uncomfortable wearing something that looks good but's uncomfortable. They want to wear something that looks good without sacrificing the comfort. So we need to talk about that unmet need before we jump in and say, hey, buy my stuff. So let's talk about the unmet need. An example I like to use over her is this painting website right here. Knackered means tired. So we're talking about, you know, people staying at home all day because of restrictions, nothing to do, blah, blah, blah. We need something fun to do. We're talking about the problem, all right, the transition, before state. This is where the customer is at with his unmet need, and then we're going to talk about the solution, all right. After we use the product, this is you in the after state. You've made a transition, and now your life has been improved because of the product. So it's important to talk about that early in your website before you show all your goods. So that section needs to come before the product section, okay? It's called the problem and solution section. There we go. Let's zoom out a little more. All right, let's get that problem and solution section. You need to create some tension because no one is going to feel the benefit if you don't talk about the negative, if you get what I'm saying. If you're only like, yeah, our product's great and look how happy you are when you use the product, it's going to change your life. But if you never talk about the negative first, they're not going to appreciate that span from going from negative into positive. Now, ironically, this website does have that section, but it's down here. And it's really funny. So let me show you that again. So we're actually we got products here. We have solution, starting with solution, which is backwards. You don't start with solution, you start with problem. So we'll make you feel comfy and sexy at the same time. Great. That is what the prospect is looking for. That's the unmet need. But you can't say that ahead of the problem. You're putting the cart before the horse, right? This is the problem. Spending time at home. By the way, this selection code needs to be edited because it's impossible to read. Spending time at home with nothing cute to lounge in. So that's the problem, right, of the prospect. But the order is incorrect. We have to talk about the problem first, then the solution. So for whatever reason, these are not in the right order. Additionally, they're showing the prospect in the after state, after the transition. You can't do that. You need to show the negative. You have to have the tension. This is a good execution of that, right? Although this is a stock photo, and I don't like stock photos because they're not real, they make you look fake. At least we're going with the flow. Corona got you knackered. This is me knackered, right? And then, oh wait, and then we go into the solution. Yay, happy times, painting, so happy. So back over here at Sleepwear Co. This needs to be a photo of a girl wearing some jammies that are just garbage, right? I don't know, like a polyester Batman onesie. It's just something, whatever. It needs to be, and she needs to be upset, like, you know. And then we take this section and then we put it above the solution section right here. And then this is fine as it is, but we gotta move the problem section up, swap out the photo, bam, we're Gucci. Moving along, this is really good here, these trust logos. Honestly, they should just take this section and delete this one and just replace it. This is really good stuff. This is something you should always do if you can. Very hard hitting. I like to call this the heavy artillery. If you can get anything like this, get it. Put it at the top of your website because it's going to build trust immediately. Because people need to know you're legit. They're on your website. They're disoriented. They don't know if they can trust you. If you hit them with your trust logos right up, that's going to keep them on the website a little longer. So this is good. But move it up. Then we have popular. We have more products. Once again, the order is a little bit off. I still would move products below problem and solution. You can put the products right after problem and solution. That's totally fine. And then we've got testimonials. So this is something neat, which I don't normally see, which is really awesome. Actual photos of the customer. So few people do that, and it's highly effective, albeit, maybe not so easy to do, but it packs a lot of punch because anyone can write a testimonial, right? Like, does this site have a testimonial somewhere? Maybe. The thing is, anyone can type these up. If you just by putting a photo, they could be, I wouldn't do this, I would never lie, but if you were unscrupulous, you could just grab anybody's photo, but you shouldn't do that. You should always put a real person. But just by putting a photo, you're going to increase the amount of trust the page is going to build. All right. And especially if you're putting a name, and especially if you put a city. All right. And if you want to go all in with your testimonials, you get yourself a before and after photo of the testimonial giver with the product. You see that on Amazon, right? On Amazon reviews. That packs a lot of punch. Nobody's faking it. It's clearly real. So it's all about being as real as you can be, and obviously being not lying about it. So if you really want to take your testimonials to the next level, that's what you've got to do. This is good. This is already more than what most people are doing. And the bare minimum is literally just text, right? And then an abbreviated name. That was good for 20 years, but it's not having so much impact anymore. You put a real picture of the person, it's going to be golden. And then we hit the bottom. We have here kind of a fun little section. We've got a guarantee, safe and secure, free shipping, heaps of customers. So this is pretty cool. It's a tad random. I would like to see a heading above this section, something to introduce these. And I would actually like to see more of them. They've got 4, let's do 6 with a grid, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then put a heading above this, like the advantage of sleepwear co-advantage, or why you should go with us, or why we're the right choice. Just put a heading over this, because you got to communicate to people. You got to use headings. Headings are key. Then we hit the bottom. We're at the footer. So that was this homepage. Now it's got, as we saw, it's got some good elements in place. It's got some elements that definitely need to be optimized. It also has some missing elements. It has the objections section missing. And you've got to handle objections. For whatever reason, people are shy about this. They don't want to handle objections. Now on this website, we're handling one objection. Never painted, no experience required, no worries. I've never held a brush in my life, but I did it and had heaps of fun. This is the one thing we hear over and over from our students. So what's a reason why someone won't buy, right? You have to think about the prospect and think what they're thinking. I'm interested in painting. I'm slightly curious. I'm not even interested. I'm slightly curious. Maybe I saw a link on the socials. I land on here. Never done this before. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. They're doing painting. Oh, okay. But in the back of my mind, I know I'm ridiculous and I can't paint anything. You know, I have no artistic ability. So if the company doesn't take up that objection, I'm never going to buy. So you have to read the mind and say, you have to type and put right here in the text what they're thinking. So this is actually what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I've never painted before and it's going to be garbage, so I'm not even going to bother. And if they didn't have this objection handling, I wouldn't buy. But if I see this, I'm going to think, oh, well, maybe it'll be all right. So that's really important, objection handlings. This is just one. You could get creative with it. I suggest doing several. You can do them in a nice section like this with a big heading, like, here's some things you might be thinking, or you might have some of these concerns, or here's some reasons why you might not want to buy. You know what I mean? Just get creative about it. And then you'll have a section, objection 1, objection 2, objection 3, and then handling 1, handling 2, handling 3 right there. Super powerful. Very few people do it. It is a gem. You should do it. Over here, back at Sleepwear Co., what are some objections? All right, let's think. Let's do a thought experiment. We don't know anything about this company, but let's all pretend we're girls and we want some of these classy, silky jammies. But what's a reason why we wouldn't want to buy from them? We're on the site. Why don't we want to buy? So I'll tell you one right off the bat. I've never heard of them before. It's plain and simple. You literally need to think what you're thinking without any counter thought. I've never heard of them before. Why should I buy from them? I want to go to Amazon because I use Amazon, right? So that is an objection they can do. So they can make a little section like this, right? 3 objections. Here's some things you might be thinking, right? Rewrite that. And you can put, I've never heard of you before. Literally, just put that. And then you put, yeah, we're new, we're blah, 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 but we're da-da-da-da-da. And you handle that objection. You can handle any objection. Just so you know, it doesn't matter what the objection is, it can be handled. What's another objection somebody might have? They land on here. Yeah, I've never heard of you before. What about, how about this? Like, I don't buy jammies online because I can't try them. How do I know they're going to be good on me, right? And that's kind of wordy, but you get that concept. It's like buying a mattress online. Like, you want to try it out, right? So that could be an objection, and that could be handled, right? So it just goes on like that. Easy ones are always, you know, price and stuff like that, or it's too expensive. That's not very creative. There's better objections you can think of. You know, quality. How about that? It'd have to be worded correctly, but if this stuff was good quality, then they can use that. It's not made in China. It's made in Australia, and it's blah blah blah. It's really amazing. So if somebody had an objection about that, then you can handle that. So long story short, objection handlings, really wicked. You should use them, and they should go early on in the website. I wouldn't put them down at the bottom. I would put them more around the middle. You can put them after the problem and solution section. There's a lot more actually on this website to talk about, but this video is going to go on and on and on forever. I mean, we can go on and on. This section as it is, the vital statistics section, is also missing. All right, so how many jammies have you sold? How many years have you been in business? How many lovely ladies have you dressed up with your love? People like to see hard numbers. If you have numbers, it's going to work for you. If you don't have any numbers, if you're brand new, then that won't work for you. But you can imagine, let's say you're a plumber and you've been in business, 30 years, you've been in business, fixed 20,000 pipes, helped 6,000 families. You know, that kind of stuff really hits home. People don't make that up, you know, and if they do, then they're going straight to hell. But people love to see hard numbers, figure out what they are for your company, and then make a section like that where you can put, here's some, you wouldn't put here's some hard numbers, but you can put a little heading above it and then just give them these facts. That's going to build a lot of trust. There's more stuff that Sleepwear Co. is missing. All right, it doesn't have vital statistics. It doesn't have the hard numbers that I was just talking about. But I don't know if we're going to go on and on and on. If you want to know more, you can slide into the DM and we can tell you much more about it. There's actually a few other sections that are missing on this website. So there's quite a bit in building a sales page. There's quite a few elements. So if you want to know more, come on down, clearimaging.com. We've been doing it. We've been doing it right. 2 decades, all right? That's why I've been around for so long, is because we do it right. Help tons of American companies. Our designs are super fresh. They're all custom, by the way. None of this Wix.com, WordPress, cookie cutter, drag and drop. Our guys hand code everything from scratch. That's how we do it, completely custom. Because the idea is, you go to Wix.com and you got to make your company fit into Wix.com. You know what I mean? You have to fit into their template. Don't do that. You need to make your website fit you. It's like a tailored suit. So come on down, clearimaging.com. We will take care of you. And if you want me to take a look at your website, I'd love to take a look, do a little video for you, no worries. Go ahead and put it in the comments. Give me the website address, the URL, and we'll do a video. I'll see what's good and bad, give you a strategy so you can start getting some more out of your website and make it work for you, get those dollar bills coming in. All right? So until then, thank you very much and see you next time.